Blue skies, even bluer water and warm breezes. The Andaman Sea, with its fresh monsoon winds and rolling swells, provides the perfect arena for the annual Senses Phuket Raceweek, a festival of sailing held off Thailand's world-famous holiday isle. The luxurious Everton Resort again placed host to the 4-day event, and with an excellent forecast ahead, it's shaping up to be the best race week yet.
One of the great things about it is a one-venue regatta. Generally we hold all the parties here on shore, the racing happens offshore. You can see the boats racing, which is pretty unusual for Asian regattas. Post-race beers are in the same place, so it's a real social event with some pretty good racing. It's a friendly regatta. This time of year, we call it the summer season. We get some rain, beautiful blue skies, fluffy clouds, great beaches, great islands, and they're all part of the racecourse.
It's absolutely gorgeous. Probably the only problem with doing the regatta over here is the fact that you're concentrating so much on the racing, you don't have the time or the sense to turn around and look at the beautiful islands. It's a marvellous place there. The water's always turquoise. Wave comes over the boat, you get wet. It's actually exhilarating. You know, it's 30 degrees all the time. The water's probably, 26. Pretty hard to beat.
Well, I've sailed a lot of Asia and I've heard so much about Phuket Raceweek, and I wanted to come up and see whether all the stories were true, and in fact they are. The environment's fabulous, and what's unusual about this part of Asia is there's good wind here. So good wind and sailing goes together, so that makes it for some exciting sailing over the next week. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm sure if we sail well, we'll have a good result.
Leading by the first mark, Voodoo, with Mark Pescott calling the shots and Hans Raymond on the helm, was obviously going to be hard to beat. Was always the multi-hull class well subscribed in Phuket, although invariably it was the ominously dark shape of a pure racing machine, Henry Kay's Seacart 30 Thor, which took the lead in pretty much every race. The Corsair 28 Miss Saigon, as always, competitively raced by Neil Eyre. David Liddell and his Corsair 37 Shanghai Baby second in the King's Cup and making extreme efforts to keep in touch with Thor. Arnold Duckworth's Happy Feet attracting a lot of interest with its unique design, but this was the wild card which confounded the opposition. The brand new Da Vinci Nina launched just days before by race organiser Grenville Fordham. The designer Alan Carwadine on the helm.
I'm very happy with the boat. It's a really nice boat to sail. Sort of way to go yet, just how to get the most out of it in certain conditions. We're learning.
And they seem to be learning fast. Other boats were quicker on the water. Henry Kay's Thor standing head and shoulders above the competition in terms of its ability to cross the line in short order. But with the class handicap working to their advantage, Alan Carwadine and the crew aboard Da Vinci were having an astoundingly successful first outing. Tipsilk's Mitri, its all-Thai crew making the most of their local knowledge, while Neil's Degan-Close Phoenix wasn't going to readily let go of the title they won here last year. In Club Charter, Rob Azzopardi was fighting an uphill battle after ProSave Cunning Plan was judged over the line in race 2, while the Swan 55 Big A kept the pressure on after a win in race 3 gave them a fighting chance. However, Andrew De Bruyn certainly wasn't putting a foot wrong in Awatea, and the Aussie-owned sloop was completely in charge of the class. And so to the realm of the so-called Galacticos. For the first time in its 6-year history, Phuket Raceweek took on the mantle of opening round of the Asian Yachting Grand Prix circuit, so the big names were out with the big boats. The IRC racing class featured a stellar cast that included Hong Kong's Neil Pride aboard his Wellborn 52 Hi-Fi and Ray Roberts' DK46 Evolution Sails. Ray took the time to sum up the competition.
This year that's probably the best racing fleet that they've had here over the last 4 years. So you've got Neil Pride from Hong Kong. He's one of the best sailors in Asia. Then you've got Yo, which is Peter Ahern from Australia. And you've got a couple of other really good boats, and of course my Evolution Sail. We've been one of the top racers in all of Asia over the last 5 or 10 years. So it's some really good boats. It's not an easy beat game here.
Well, it could be said that the man with most to lose this year was defending class champion Peter Ahern, whose crew on the Far 40 Yo 2 were equally determined to hang on to that honour. Also to keep the big boys at bay was the Swan 42 Katsu of Australian skipper Ben Copley. Scott Duncanson's Little Phuket 8 Quantum Fusion M was upsetting some of the big boys, leading squeezed second place in race 4. But coming into the final day, Ray Roberts' Evolution Sails held a slender 3-point lead over Neil Pride's Hi-Fi. The big question was, of course, could this be enough to hold the Hong Kong boat back with just 2 races to go? Well, Neil Pride's crew were up and at it early with an air of confidence in their stride and struck gold by winning both races. But with a deficit of just 34 seconds in race 7 and 41 seconds in race 8, and with a slight handicap advantage, Evolution Sails squeezed underneath the wire to take the overall class win by just 1 point. Ray Roberts claiming the title on his first outing at Phuket Raceweek. 2 third places for Peter Ahern's Far 40 Yo 2 placed them in 3rd overall, but if Neil Pride was disappointed, he wasn't letting it show.
Sailing conditions here have been excellent. It's been very, very good racing. Very challenging. You know, there's a lot of wind shifts, a lot of big currents, tides. So it's very challenging sailing, but interesting. Tactically, very interesting. On handicap, we have to give quite a lot of time away to those smaller boats behind us. We're by far the fastest boat, so we're pretty much sailing on our own.
And there was little doubt that either of the 2 boats fighting for maximum points for this, the opening round of the Asian Yachting Grand Prix circuit, were giving it 100% through all 4 days. In the end, though, victory went to Ray Roberts and Evolution Sails.
It's been very, very close racing. We went into the last day with a 3-point lead, and we needed to have at least 1 win or at worst 2 seconds. And as luck would have it, and a bit of good sailing, of course, we come out with 2 seconds, and we just pipped Neil Pride for first place, with Yo filling in the 3rd spot on the podium. So yeah, I'm really happy, but it was down to it was a nail biter right down to the wire.
So the IRC racing class, and indeed many of the others, being decided in a race to the line on the final day. The 2009 Six Senses Phuket Raceweek drew to a close in the way it knows best. The Everson Resort hosting the closing night's spectacular party, just as it had done throughout the week at the Regatta's Beachside Tavern.
How can you sum that up? Just a fantastic regatta. A bit tough, and it came down to today. We had to perform, and we did. We got 2 wins today. Not only that, which meant we won the regatta, but the owners of the boat sold another boat, which was just absolutely fantastic.
This week was an absolute surprise.